Estamos en comunicación con Ryan Kruger, director de la película sudafricana, él es británico, llamada Fried Barry. Ante todo quiero darle la bienvenida a La Expiación, el programa que compartimos con mi compañera Juliana. Desde aquí, desde Buenos Aires, Argentina, estamos comunicándonos a Sudáfrica. Bueno, desde ya estamos muy contentos, esta es la primera entrevista bilingüe, estamos tratando de superar todas las dificultades técnicas y agradecemos en especial a Micaela que sin ella no hubiese sido posible, que es nuestra traductora, así que bueno, ante todo, bienvenido Ryan.
Okay, here we are in communication with Ryan Kruger, director of the South African film Fried Barry. We welcome you to La Expiación, the radio program that we share with my partner Juliana, here from Buenos Aires, Argentina. We are very happy since this is our first bilingual interview. And we thank our translator, Micaela, that without her, it wouldn't be possible to do it.
Very true.
Bueno, bienvenido, Ryan, a nuestro programa. Estamos muy contentos de que nos acompañes y, bueno, agradecerte por tu tiempo.
Welcome to our interview, and we are very thankful for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Bueno, no, en especial pudimos conocer tu película porque fue ganadora del Festival Buenos Aires Rojo Sangre, pero también ha ganado un montón de premios en diversos festivales, porque desde el planteo ya, por lo menos para mí, es una película distinta que mezcla un poco de varios géneros, crea una atmósfera especial, ¿no? de extrañamiento, para mí casi perfecta, donde todo puede pasar, ¿no? Donde todo puede ocurrir. Sumado, bueno, a que hay un gran intérprete que es Gary Green, que es un verdadero hallazgo que has hecho, que verdaderamente para mí es casi hipnótico, es magnético. ¿Qué sensaciones vos por ahí buscabas generar, ¿no? en el espectador? Tengo entendido que también tiene que ver con cosas que te han pasado a vos a nivel personal, ¿no?
Okay, in particular, we got to know your film because it was the winner of the Buenos Aires Rojo Sangre Festival, but it has also won many awards at other festivals. From the outset, it's a different film. It mixes a bit of all genres, creating an atmosphere of perfect estrangement where anything can happen. Added to the character like Gary Green, who is hypnotic and magnetic. What sensations were you seeking to generate in the viewer? I understand that it also has to do with things that really happen to you in your life.
Well, the thing with Fried Barry, how it came about, it was at the point where I was in my career. I've never, always wanted to make a feature film, and it's been that thing where I'm busy waiting to get to this point to make a film. So when I got the idea for Fried Barry, as soon as I got the idea, I knew straight away that this is the one to do. This is the right one to make. And in 3 days, I wrote a 50% scene breakdown, and it wasn't a script, just a 50% scene breakdown. And the movie developed as we were filming. So there was a lot of improvisation during the filming. So yeah, so what was unique about when I came up with the idea was to have like most other films, most films are set in concrete. You know, you have a script, you go to shoot, and you're going to shoot whatever's on the script. And I didn't want to be locked into anything. I wanted it to be organic, and there was a lot of improvisation with the film with all these other actors. But Gary Green, Fried Barry, he's not a trained actor. So he's normally an extra in the background. So when we made this, when we made the movie, I was on set. I improvised a lot with the actors, and we're in the moment. So I would have certain things that I wrote in a scene, like this must happen or this must happen, but it left it open to add things and change things. And the only guy that didn't improvise was Gary Green, because he's not a trained actor. So so everybody else in the film, I workshopped and improvised with them. But Gary was the only guy that, because the movie relies on him, he was the only guy that didn't improvise. So in the movie, he would mimic as an alien other characters. And then the funny thing is, when I was filming with him, he would copy me. So Gary would be here, and there's the camera, and then I would say, Gary, do this face. Okay, now do this face. And he would mimic me off screen. Cool. And then the last thing was, as you said about the content of the movie, it wasn't really any personal experience, what I went through or anything like that. It was just the darker side to humanity, where, no matter what city in the world that we go to, you'll always have those characters and those dodgy bars and those crazy places to be. So I tried my best that, yes, the movie is about an alien, about a heroin addict that gets abducted by aliens, but it's not really, that's not really the main story. The main story is the journey that we go on with Barry, and it's like a road movie without a car, and Barry's the car, and we go on this journey, and I try my best to make it very unpredictable, where we have no idea which way the story is going to go. Is it going to go this way? Is it going to go this way? We don't know. And, is to keep the audience, in the dark, where we don't know where this is going to go.
Justamente queríamos destacar la interpretación de Gary Green, que él es quien interpreta a Fried Barry. Y para nosotros hace una composición extraordinaria. Todo su cuerpo está tomado completamente. Es impresionante su cuerpo, su movimiento corporal, sus ojos, sus expresiones, la plasticidad de su rostro. Reacciona de mil maneras diferentes. Y al mismo tiempo, es incapaz de expresar cualquier estado de ánimo o algún sentimiento por medio de las palabras, ¿no? Y lo interesante, ¿no?, es que, sin embargo, él tiene la capacidad de transmitir con la expresión todo aquello que no dice, ¿no? ¿Cómo fue ese proceso de trabajo con Gary? Digamos que si bien ya nos estuviste comentando, pero me parecía impresionante esto de las expresiones, ¿no? Todo lo que no decía con las palabras lo decía con el rostro.
Is that it?
Yeah. As for Gary Green, I would like to highlight his performance. He makes an extraordinary composition. His body is completely taken. His body movement is impressive. His eyes, his facial expressions, the plasticity of his face. He reacts in 1,000 different ways. At the same time, he's incapable of expressing a state of mind or a feeling through words. However, he has the ability to convey with the expression of his face everything that he doesn't say. And she would like to know how was that process? Like, if he wasn't trained, how was working with Gary?
Yeah. Well, I've known Gary for probably about 11 years now, maybe more. And he, you know, as I said, he comes from a extra background. So, you know, throughout the years I've worked with him, and, you know, he's a super nice guy. He's also a very offbeat character, you know, himself as a person. But he's a lovely, lovely person. And, you know, in the past, you know, I've put him in as an extra in music videos and stuff that I've done. I've also, over the years, as parts have grown, and I've, you know, given him, you know, bigger parts. But I always had Gary in mind for Fry Barry. I mean, in 2017, we made an experimental short film, also called Fry Barry. And, you know, I knew I'll be able, I knew what I could get out of him. I knew, you know, the part was written for him. And I love his unique, strange look. Nobody looks like Gary, and that's the beauty of it. And he has so much presence, and he did an amazing job with Fry Barry, and he was always willing to do another take and to do another take. And yeah, I just had to, because the movie relies on the lead character, and because, you know, everybody else I workshopped and improvised stuff with, I couldn't do that with Gary, because I had to have that full control. And that's why, you know, I'd say before, the mimicking, so his character mimics other people in the movie. And then when I'm directing him, as I said, I'll be off the side of the camera, and I'd be saying, okay, Gary, give me this face. Now give me this face. Now copy me and do this face. So I would have all the different reactions so I could use it in the edit. So it looks like he's hitting all the marks, all the comedy beats, but it's me getting those right moments so I could use it for the edit.
Sí, la verdad es impresionante el trabajo que hace Gary, y además ese rostro tan especial, ¿no? Y esas expresiones que hacen, la verdad que es impresionante.
It's an impressive work, and his face is super cool in all the scenes.
Yeah, he's got a great look, and that's the thing. Nobody looks like Gary. He has that very unique look, and that's the thing. He's just got that presence on camera, because nobody looks like him. Nobody's gonna ever go up to him and say, "Are you John?" or something like that. Nobody's ever gonna mismatch him for somebody else. And I think, you know, at the beginning, when I thought of this character and this movie, you know, I wanted to make a cult style movie that people will, if they watch this film, they'll never forget it. And it was important to me to make that like iconic character that nobody will forget. So Superman has his Superman suit, and Barry has his denim jacket and his jeans, and he's this rough, poor white trash character. And the other thing is, the interesting thing is when people watch the trailer or they see the poster of the movie, because of Gary's face, you know, you get, as an actor, or you know, as an actor, you get put into a box where if you look at Gary, you go, bad guy. He's definitely a bad guy, because he's got this, you know, he's got this interesting face where most people, and even myself in the past, you know, we cast him as a bad guy. And that's what I wanted to do with the film, where it starts off where he's this bad guy, drug addict, and the audience will not like him. But when he becomes an alien, the alien in his body, you know, there's a lot of heart in it. He's actually a nicer person than the drug addict. And that's the thing, where we fall in love with this character and we feel sorry for him, and we're like, oh, we love Fry Barry. Oh, we don't want him to get hurt. And, you know, we enjoy the character in the end, because when the movie starts, we think, oh shit, like something's, you know, this guy's going to be a killer, or he's going to be the bad guy. And he's not. He's actually, you know, he's the like anti-hero, you know?
Sí, totalmente. Bueno, la película también parece un viaje del que vamos conociendo y atravesando las situaciones por medio de los ojos de Barry. Y bueno, la película no es para nada predecible, te sorprende en cada minuto y a nosotros como espectador, ¿no? Nos sorprendía en cada minuto. ¿Y cómo fue la repercusión en los públicos, en los distintos espectadores en tu país y en el resto del mundo, en los festivales en donde ha participado? Y bueno, ¿y qué significa para vos poder compartir una película sudafricana en el resto del mundo?
The film feels like a journey in which we get to know and go through situations through Barry's eyes. It's not at all predictable, it surprises you every minute. And how was the effect on the public, on the different spectators in your country and in the rest of the world? And how does it mean to you, no, what does it mean to you to be able to share a South African film to the rest of the world?
Yeah, I think, when I made the film, I really tried my best to make it unpredictable. As I said before, where we just don't know where the film's going, but still not in a dragging way, in a way that we're still very interested and we have no idea where it's going to go, and to keep that audience on the seats. And, we found that there's a lot of people. I mean, I knew what my target market was, so I know the people that will love this film will really love this film, and we found that, in different festivals, we have our target market and we have other people that's not our target market that also really, really enjoyed the movie. And from a South African cinema point of view, the interesting thing is that we don't make these sort of films here in South Africa at all. So it's definitely the first of its kind to come out of South Africa, because we don't make movies like this. And, I think a lot of people were surprised because it's a very bold movie. It's a very risky movie considering the content that's in the movie, So it's great to see people react different ways, and some people will love it and some people will hate it. Some people will get it and some people won't understand it.
Es ideal para el rojo sangre, es ideal. Bueno, tu trabajo de cámara se revela para mí personalmente minucioso, o sea, con unos primeros planos a diversas situaciones. Busca provocar todo el tiempo al que está sentado en la butaca. Yo no me imagino lo que debe ser verla en el cine, me encantaría en algún momento. En esos recorridos, ¿no?, que hace Barry, ¿no?, involucrándose en situaciones de adicciones, de sexo, de violencia, ahí por Ciudad del Cabo. A mí me llamó la atención una escena, recuerdo, en la cual hay un hombre agonizando abajo, de una autopista, y él decide sacarse los auriculares y se los pone a la persona que está agonizando. Y en ese punto de la película me parece como que él empezó a entender cómo funciona nuestro mundo, ¿no? Cómo funciona, como que el extraterrestre empezó a entender al hombre, ¿no?, y a las miserias humanas, ¿no? Como a veces nosotros miramos para otro lado y como que me pareció que en algunas situaciones como que él empezaba a mostrar cierta compasión en sus actos. ¿Puede ser esto o es una apreciación mía?
Well, it's a good film for both sides. I really want to see this movie in the movie theater. And your camera work is meticulous, with the close-ups, trying to transmit all this that you comment. In those tours that Barry takes, getting involved in situations of addictions, sex, and violence around Cape Town, I remember a scene in which there is a man dying and he decides to put him on the headphones that he had with music. It seems to me that at that point the alien that lives in Barry understood how this world works and begins to understand human miseries, how sometimes we look other way, and he tries to show compassion in many of his actions. Is it something like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, as the movie goes on, his character learns more from mimicking people and watching people, whether it's, it's almost like he becomes a better father to his kid. He becomes a better husband.
Sí.
He, you know, and the more he learns, the friendlier he gets, and he understands, you know, what's right or what's wrong. And, you know, the heart of the movie is his wife, and his wife really is the heart of the movie, because, you know, she kind of, you know, kind of shapes him and grounds him in a sense where you can see she's like, oh, my husband's really trying. He's trying to be a better guy. And yeah, his character develops as the movie goes on. But I always laugh because it's just one of those types of films, you know, where you see alien abduction. Normally they pick up this random guy somewhere, and, you know, they do experiments on him and spit him back out. And with this film, I always laugh because they just picked the worst and wrong person to pick and to experiment on, and, you know, they picked this crazy drug addict, and it just makes it that much more entertaining.
Me gustaría ver si tiene alguna escena que recuerde así que le parezca, que le gustaría compartir en realidad.
Do you have a favorite scene of the movie?
A lot of people ask me this. I think for me, I love the mental institute hospital scene, and I love inside the spaceship when he gets. So I love the lights and, you know, all the colors of the movie, and how we showing that throughout the movie, and the tone, and going on the trip with Gary. But we had amazing Gareth plays amazing DOP, and we just had a great team, and, you know, we had a lot of fun making this movie. I think the great thing about making this film and not having a studio trying to control you is that any idea that I had, no matter how crazy it was, I was like, okay, let's do this. When he gets abducted and the thing goes into his dick, all that stuff, it was like, cool, let's do that, let's show it, you know.
Bueno, se nota que, como decíamos anteriormente, que hay un juego con las sensaciones. La película tiene esto de transmitir sensaciones que pueden ir desde el terror hasta la comedia absurda, y bueno, y la película es muy visual, muy sensorial, por los colores, los claroscuros, las luces, y es muy interesante cómo se compone de diferentes elementos, ¿no?, que se complementan, como la comedia, el terror, la ciencia ficción. Bueno, queríamos preguntarte cuál es el estilo de película o los géneros que a vos te gustan y te interesaba abordar.
It shows, as we said a while ago, that there is a game with sensations, of transmitting sensations that can range from a terror to an absurd comedy. The film is very sensorial and very visual because of the colors, the dark highlights, the lights, and it's very interesting how you approach it because different elements complement each other, like comedy, horror, science fiction. What is the style of film that you like and were interested in addressing?
For me, I love 80s cinema. For me, 80s cinema is my favorite. So, you know, whether it's 80s horror films, or, you know, David Cronenberg, or David Lynch. And yeah, it's I think, you know, there's a lot of 80s references in Friar Barry, and I think what also makes it a little bit unique that it's, you know, it's this very hard content and quite violent, but at the same time there's lots of comedy, there's horror elements, there's sci-fi elements, and, you know, I think there's a bit in there for everybody. I mean, even a love story. So I think it ticks a lot of boxes, and at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's a fun movie. You know, you got to be willing to go on the ride and experience it. And that's why I say some people will love it and some people will hate it. So that's the design of the movie. And if you don't like it, it's okay. It's not your type of movie. And if you do like it, then great. It's just that journey if you're willing to go on it.
Ryan, te queremos agradecer un montón por este tiempo compartido. Realmente para nosotros es muy importante haber podido realizar esta comunicación. Agradecerle nuevamente a Micaela por hacernos de traductora, que sin ella no hubiésemos podido hacerlo. Así que, bueno, Ryan, desde ya esperamos la segunda parte de Fred Barry. Veo que hay muchos fans. Yo soy un fan más, así que realmente quedé fascinado con tu trabajo, realmente. Espero ver más.
Well, Ryan, thank you for your patience and for this time we shared. You were a revelation for me. I hope to see more of your work. We want the part 2 of Fried Barry, thanks to Micaela, that without her we wouldn't be able to communicate. And I hope to see more of your work, and I was really fascinated.
Okay, thank you so much for having me, and I'm so happy. Thank you to all. Thank you for translating. But yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm so happy that you guys enjoyed the movie. And I've got a few ideas for Fried Barry too, but let's see what happened, and let's see how the audience reacts when it comes out. The thing with making Fried Barry 2, it's got to be better than number 1. So I've got to think of a lot of stuff to top some of that stuff. So I'm gonna have to top the birth scene.
Bueno.
Ryan, muchísimas gracias. La verdad que fue un placer haber conversado con vos, haber tenido la oportunidad de conocerte y de conocer tu trabajo, que realmente es increíble, y gracias por tu tiempo y felicitaciones por el gran trabajo. Y sí esperamos ver más trabajos tuyos, obviamente.
Well, Ryan, thank you very much. The truth is that it was a pleasure talking to you and to have had the opportunity to meet you and your work, which is really incredible. Thanks for your time and congratulations on the great work, and we wait for Fried Barry too.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Un abrazo grande, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.